Time for some Ashoka Episode 7 Easter eggs. Let's go!
The story begins on Coruscant at a Senate building. You can see the seal of the
Yes.
Galactic Senate on its front with the New Republic insignia in blue underneath.
Oh, okay, that's Easter egg overall. Oh, what? She looks kind of weird, though.
Senator Ziono calls Hera a member of the New Republic Security Force, a branch of the government first established in 1994, appearing in legend stories like the courtship of Princess Leia and X-Wing, the Krytos track.
Okay, so it's going back into the deep lore, it looks like.
Since this is a military hearing, Admiral Akbar is seated right next to the annoying senator.
It's a trap!
And of course,
It's a trap!
C-3PO makes his most prominent appearance since the rise of Skywalker.
Absolutely.
Hera met him back in one of the earliest episodes of Star Wars Rebels. It
Yes!
makes sense that Leia would want to help Hera because they also met in the second season of the series. It's stated that Leia is the leader of the Defense Council, a part of the New Republic Senate that was first created in 1996 for the Black Fleet Crisis books.
Dang, they're really going deep into that stuff. Okay, this guy knows what he's saying. This guy knows what he's talking about. I'm not that deep into the Star Wars lore.
A holographic recording of Anakin mentions the possible enemies Ahsoka might face in the Clone Wars. I expect just about everyone watching this series knows General Grievous and Count Dooku from the prequel films, but Asajj Ventress is criminally lesser known. She was a major villain in both the Clone Wars animated series and the Now Legends micro-series.
Yes, she was. I do remember that from the Clone Wars thing. So they're alluding to all of these other crazy enemies, which is good.
Was a Dathomirian that became a Sith apprentice to Dooku for a time until she was betrayed and returned home to the Night Sisters. Much of Anakin's recording is taken from an episode of Tales of the Jedi, where Anakin trains Ahsoka to defend herself by having clone troopers try to stun her. The exercises wound up being valuable when she had to fight those same clones to survive Order 66.
Oh shit, yeah, I remember Order 66.
Similar to one we see Ahsoka watching in Star Wars Rebels. She does mention that he made 20 different recordings, so now I guess we've seen 2 of them. He encourages Ahsoka 10%. To practice his lightsaber forms more often than he does. Obi-Wan also chides Anakin for not practicing his forms more in Attack of the Clones. The Purrgil reach Peridia in the middle of an Imperial minefield. They appear to be seeker mines that chase after any object that flies near.
Oh,
a similar weapon can be used in the video game Star Wars Squadrons. Ahsoka's desperate flight into the ring of Purrgil bones is a direct parallel to Han flying into the asteroid field in The Empire Strikes Back, but this time it's to show Thrawn's unwillingness to casually throw away the lives of his pilots. Morgan Elsbeth gives Thrawn a collection of information that the Inquisitorial database had on Ahsoka. That would be data gathered by the Inquisitors like we've seen in Star Wars Rebels, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Star Wars Jedi games, several books, and even Ahsoka with Marok.
I do love how they're going very deep into this stuff. I love it.
Realizes the threat Ahsoka presents when he learns that her master was Anakin Skywalker. He met Anakin back during the Clone Wars when he was still part of the Chiss Ascendancy. They shared a mission together and later worked as partners within the Empire after Anakin became Darth Vader and Thrawn joined the Imperial Navy. He was able to deduce the true identity of the Sith Lord. Sabine catches Ezra up on galactic history, saying the war ended at the Battle of Endor, which technically it ends with the Battle of Jakku, but I can see why Sabine or others would consider Endor the true victory. It was a more heroic moment for the rebellion and probably sounds better in the history hollows, seeing the destruction of another Death Star as well as the deaths of Darth Vader and the Emperor.
That would make a lot of sense.
Or at least supposed death, because Sabine admits that's just what people say. She wasn't there, she has no first-hand knowledge, but really I think this is a joke about how Palpatine is still out there somewhere. Zeb gets...
Palpatine is always out there. I still don't know why they made Palpatine still be out there somewhere. Why can't they just made it another Sith? I don't know.
It's his first name drop of the series, which is great. We've seen him already in Sabine's mural on Lothal, and we also saw him as a friend of Carson Teva's in The Mandalorian Season 3. Ezra mentions Sabine's previous training that he witnessed in Star Wars Rebels, specifically where he was part of her lessons learning to wield the Darksaber. Ahsoka and Sabine communicating through the Force is obviously like what we've seen Jedi and Force users do before, like when Luke called out to Leia on Cloud City.
They always do that.
Sending Shin off on her own, claiming his path.
Some weird, mysterious Force. They always do that.
In another direction is reminiscent of Obi-Wan leaving Luke on the Death Star to face Vader, even down to the similar lines. The gunships used by the Night Troopers are the same kind we saw used by the New Republic on Corellia and the Republic on Coruscant during the Clone Wars.
Oh, okay. So they're even going back in ship styles. Holy shit, they're doing a lot.
And the Empire used them too. Everyone seems to love these ships. They never go out of style. The Nomads chasing the Noti caravan reminds me of the Warg chase in the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies, which obviously isn't a Star Wars reference, but Filoni has filled this series with Tolkien inspiration. The Noti using a slingshot against a Nomad, even though it was hilariously ineffective, could be a callback to Ezra's weapon as a child being an energy slingshot. Maybe he taught the Noti to make and shoot them. Their use of other
But
improvised weapons
that's not an
reminds
energy sync touch. That's a regular one. That's why it's ineffective.
me of even more Tolkien stuff. I've previously compared them to hobbits, but using rocks as weapons is like Merry and Pippin fighting the Uruk-hai, and using a frying pan is a very Samwise Gamgee move. I'll occasionally point out things that connect to future Star Wars content, pre-Easter eggs or pre-Easter eggs for funsies.
Pre-Easter
Ezra
eggs
using
for
a mixture
funsies.
of the Force and martial arts to defend the Noti reminded me of the amazing footage that was shown for the Acolyte at Star Wars Celebration. That fight choreography looked sick.
I
Ezra
did not see
using
that
the
fight
Force to
choreography,
stop Shin's
honestly.
lightsaber blade has popped up several times in other stories, but probably most prominently in The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, okay.
I don't think this is an intentional reference, but I think Grand Admiral Thrawn would have loved playing Holotactics and Pyloon's Saloon in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Ezra's hilarious attempt
Damn,
to
they even going game-wise. Holy shit.
talk himself out of getting killed is very consistent with his portrayal in Star Wars Rebels, constantly quipping even in the face of capture or death.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that's
you're gonna
everything
quip,
I
quip,
caught. Let me know what I missed in the comments.
I do not know what they missed. I don't know what they missed because, like I said, myself, I am not a pro at any of this stuff. I do not know what the heck. I know some of the main stuff. I know some of the stuff with Clone Wars, maybe a little bit of the Star Wars games, but too much of the back lore and I mean, especially when you're going into like the actual comic book lore, like the deeper extended universe lore. Yeah, you're not gonna catch me with that. Too much reading. I'm a squirrel that doesn't like to read. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Mad Salvi, hoping that you will let me know what you think down below. Let me know if you want more of these things. I will find them. I will do what I can to see them. I will do what I can to show them. Thank you so much. This is the Mad Salvi. I will be seeing you all next time. Bye-bye.